Hey guys, how you doing? It's the Car Crazy Guy here from Santa Clarita, and in this video I'm going to show you every modification I've done since I purchased this vehicle 11 months ago. And we'll go ahead and start off with the obvious here. I purchased this Morimoto XB LED headlamp. Came with free fog lights. I purchased that for $1,100. Didn't like the fog lights, sold those for $102.50 and purchased the standard Morimoto fogs. The first ones had like a prismatic effect. I didn't really care for it, but the light output is about the same, although I thought it probably was going to be better with these ones. The next thing I bought, and I just recently purchased this, is the short antenna. And this antenna is from a company called Ride on Air. It's a 13-inch flexible rubber antenna, and that I paid $23.99. Now the fog lights, I should mention, that I showed you a second ago, that I paid $180 for those. Okay, the next thing I did, and I decided to sort of black things out, and they're not quite black, but they are darker. And what I did was I purchased these OEM badges from a Ford dealer, and these are part of the black package. This is the Grille Emblem kit. Unfortunately, the original kit that I purchased came with one that had the black ring around, or the textured ring, I should say, around the top. Unfortunately, with my XLT, it doesn't fit, so I had to buy another one for the rear, cut the tabs off, and stick it on. And unfortunately, my bad, I stuck it on crooked. Well, luckily I was able to pull it off and reattach it, and it came out 99.5%, and I'm going with that. All right, so that itself on the black package, those emblems were $103.65. They gave me some credit back because the back one was scratched, and I did replace that. So anyways, my net cost is $82.10. Now, moving on to the side here, same theme, F150 black package emblems. These I bought online. I paid $176.62 for two of them. This is for the XLT, as you can see. And they were kind of a pain to take off. There's two metal clips and adhesive. Fishing string is your friend. And if you have skinny arms, they're also your friend as well, because mine kind of got tore up sticking my hands through the opening here once the hood was open, of course. And the last one that was all the way over here was kind of tough to reach. But I managed to get them out without screwing anything up. Okay, the next thing I did was I went online and found this company. It's called OEM Auto Art, and I've picked up these painted mirror caps. They came out, well, when they sent them to me, they look beautiful. Top quality. These are actually OEM parts that they paint and send back to you, and I paid $2.99 for those. Not exactly cheap, but you do get what you pay for, and I believe the quality is here. Excuse me, but I live near a hospital, unfortunately, so we have to listen to that all day long. So if these guys would just turn their sirens off, I'd appreciate it. Okay, good. All right, so you've probably seen this before as well. I purchased this set of wheels and tires from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. He told me the wheel sensors were there inside the wheels and tires, TPMS to be exact, and they were not, so I had to purchase new TPMS sensors. The wheels were $750, the sensors are about $200. Also, part of the black package, not quite, but they still are the same color as the rest of the stuff, is the center caps. And I bought these on eBay. Those wheel caps were $28.82. That was my total cost because I had some eBay bucks in there. I think they were about $35 normally. Still keeping in theme with the wheel, I replaced Ford's crappy lug nuts with these Gorilla lug nuts. Bought those on eBay, about 60 bucks. They give you a little bit more than I needed because I replaced, 4 of them, one on each wheel, and I went with the locking lugs from Gorilla also. The lug nuts were 60 bucks. The locking lugs were $27.45. And then, of course, back to the wheel again. We've replaced our tire caps with these ones off of Amazon. The company's name, CZLPV. Those were $6. That's at least what I paid for them. Okay, and then moving on to the back here. Ford unfortunately doesn't include this. But I went out and purchased this from the dealer, and these are the Ford OEM wheel liners. I paid $140 for these guys at my Ford dealership. Same thing at the Ford dealership. I bought a set of mud flaps, front and rear, and those are the rears. Moving back up to the fronts. Put them on. I pretty much put everything on myself. These mud guards were $80 for the pair. Moving back up to the rear here. Same theme, black package, oval emblems. It's a little dark back here, but you can see them. And me too. These emblems, basically for a pair, is $148. Also, I did the same thing with the EcoBoost badge. Although they don't really look black, they look more like a nickel finish. One thing I also did, which is a complete upgrade, are these Ford OEM Bliss tail lamps. And these came with the actual Bliss modules. Although they're not connected, just the tail lights are functional. Bliss package is not. And these lights I paid $700 for. And these guys were purchased from a guy on the Ford forums. And they were in perfect condition, and it's actually from Boosted Grey Goose 2016. Those were $700. In addition, to make these functional, I had to buy his adapter. I paid about $95 for that. Also, coming back to the rear again, are the cargo lights. 1200. These are 1,000 lumen cargo lights. Got a pair of those. Same thing with the third brake light. Replaced that with an LED also, and kept the stock housings. Let's see, third brake light was $14.99, and the pair of 1,000 lumen bulbs were $89. HeadlightRevolutions.com for those. Returning back to the back again, I replaced the tailgate handle again from OEM Auto Art. Kind of hard to see here, but they're painted the same color as my truck, which is magnetic metallic. Those were also $2.99. Now, I also purchased a while back the Revolver X4 from Back Industries. It's a matte finish. Nice. The only thing I don't like is these rubber seals right over here. They peel up because they sort of stick out a little bit more. So I had to take the tape off about an inch or so and replace it with my own. And I always like that 3M VHB, very high bonding. Same thing with these little seals over here on the edge. You pull the tailgate up and they fold underneath. Had to reattach those again using the 3M VHB. So far, so good. That tailgate or the bed cover was $899. The next thing I did is I put a tailgate dampener, and while we got that open, or while I open it, I should say, you can see it comes down nicely. That I think I got that from CJ Pony Parts, and on that one I paid $53.99. Now, I also got this OEM. It's made by Bedrug, but it's Ford branded. I used my Ford Pass rewards, and I bought the Bedrug from the Ford dealer directly. Those were free. I think normally they're, if I recall, like $300 and something, but I don't know exactly. I don't remember. All right, so we'll go ahead and fold the tailgate back up. Mine's pretty light because I don't have the tailgate step, which I really wish I did have. I took the OEM black package oval, trimmed all the tabs off, cut a backing plate out of black plastic, textured plastic, and drilled 4 holes, used the old hitch receiver part from my old hitch cover, and screwed it onto the black plastic and stuck the logo on. That logo was about $80, and I scavenged parts off of something, the old trailer hitch. I probably spent about $20 on that. The only thing I need to do is put some black adhesive sealer in between the backing plate and the logo so water doesn't get in, nor dirt, and it stays attached for a long time. Now, the original one I had was a Bully, but the Bully is no longer on here anymore, and it's sitting as a well, it's a Ford logo now. One other thing I also did, and this is not something I can easily show you, we'll go ahead and go underneath here. The spare tire is exactly this wheel and tire combination. I purchased that from an eBay seller for about $209 plus $181 for the tire, of course mounting and balancing, and there is no TPMS sensor in that. Now we'll go ahead and get into the interior, and I'll show you a few things I've done here too. And some of these are pretty cool. All right, well, one thing I did do is I installed, this is Ford Performance Raptor steering wheel. It has paddle shifters. And for the most part, they do not work. However, I'm not satisfied with things that don't work. So I went back to the aftermarket. I went to boostedgraygoosedesigns.net and I picked up his paddle shifter harness for $135.99. And then later on, I picked up his heated steering wheel harness for $245.99. Now, the paddles are functional as well as the heated steering wheel. And let's go ahead and look into the interior here because it's trying to connect to my Bluetooth, so we're gonna close that. And as you can see, you see the heated steering wheel control. Let's turn it on, and it really does work. It's pretty cool. I also added the seat functions to the quadrant as well using ForScan. That was a free mod, of course. In order to make the heated steering wheel operate, not only did I have to buy his harness, I had to buy a heated steering wheel module, $32.34, a clock spring, $113.02, and a few push pins, and that was about $3. Now the steering wheel itself was $459.95. That was on Amazon, and then I went to a Ford dealership online, and I can't remember who I used. Maybe it was AutoNation, White Bear, or something or another. And the total of parts to make that work were another $151.03. So total cost of OEM parts $151.03, and total cost of harnesses $381.98. So it was an expensive endeavor. The other thing I did too is I went to Clusters by Living It Up, another F150 forum member who sells these 8-inch clusters, and these are the ones that you find in the Lariat and above trim levels, as well as the Raptor. It has nice functions. It's pretty cool. I do like this. It kind of adds a premium touch to kind of a base truck. I can feel my heated steering wheel getting warm now. Let's see, what else did I do? We'll flip to the other side of my paper here. I also bought these pedal covers. These were on Amazon, and these were $35.99. The cluster, back to the cluster because I forgot to tell you that, $670. I installed all these items myself. The Ford Performance sill plates. Looks orange, but in reality it's really red. That's just the way the camera picks it up. Those were $77.40. Now, going to the rears, on the driver's side seat back, you can pull back a tab because I've installed a little kit. And that kit was from, my paper will never get straight. It's Built Right Industries. That was $28.99. And what you do, since there's a little tab, you just grab this and you can put your seat back. The only problem I found with these, at least in my case, is you can't just take this seat and flip it up and have it lock into place. It just refuses to do so without banging it like crazy. So what I have to do is take the seat bottom and fold it up, and as long as the pin back there, as you can see, the top is in the right place, it'll latch correctly. And then you just pull this tab down here up to release the seat bottom, and now, oh, it didn't latch. I thought it did. Let's try it again. That was a fail. So there we go. Now she's latched. I hate messing with that. It's kind of a pain. All right, and the last thing I'm going to show you, we're going to go around to the other side here, and I bought myself a dash mat because these Fords have the dash hump. I'm not too keen with that, but they're all like that pretty much. And I've ordered this, and it's made by Covercraft. It's called the Ultimate Custom Dash Cover. I paid $66 for this. You can see it's molded to the dash, literally. Fits really nicely. I did not use any of the included adhesive tape. And after putting this list in order and tallying up the actual cost, I was a little surprised. Now, one thing I also want to do, and my final thing, is add cat skins. So the cat skins are a replacement leather seating surface. They have dealers all over the country. You purchase the kit, they send you to their specialized dealer, and they'll replace your cloth seats with leather. And there's tons and tons and tons of different patterns and colors. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but it averages anywhere from $1,500 to $2,200. So I'm not sure what color I'm going to go with, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be a dark color. But they have different styles. Pretty cool place. Check them out. I think it's katzkin.com, if I'm not mistaken. Google it. Now, here's the actual total cost. As I was saying, I was a little surprised about how much I spent. And it's like, oh, I spent $7,067.08. Yeah, I think I overdid a little bit. But you know what? I think it's worth it because the truck is fantastic looking now. There's a lot of added features, and a lot of these features you could add to your Lariat, King Ranch, Limited. Now, I don't have the sunroof, which is something else I would have liked to have had, but I think overall the truck came out pretty cool. So tell me what you think. Would you have spent all this money on it? I don't know if I would have again, but I did, so I can't complain. I'm gonna hang on to this truck for a while. I've had it almost a year now, and recently I sold another one of my investments, and I paid off my truck, and I also paid off the loan for my Civic Type R2. So finally I have the title to that, as well as my Corvette, which I did last year. This is a fantastic car, and I have absolutely no desire to sell it, not even for a C8. I don't think the C8 is worth it. So maybe the C8 Z06 or C8 ZR1 might be my next car that I buy, but that's gonna be a ways off, and I really want to keep this car, and I don't want to get rid of it, so I may just simply hang on to it. Anyways, I'll leave you with a little shot of my daily driver, and that's my 2019 Fusion SE. And I leased this car, but I do kind of have an intention of buying it. So I think it's a pretty cool car. And it looks pretty fantastic with the wheels that are blacked out. And it wasn't a bad price. It's about $3,000 to start, and it's about $200 a month plus tax. So anyways, one day I'll get around to doing a review of the Fusion. I do drive it quite a bit more, so it's got about 1,800 miles on it now. I know that's not a lot. Probably some people put that on in a month, but as a retired dude, I don't go very far anymore. Just around here and just doing my normal stuff. There's some days I don't even drive the car. It just sits there 2 or 3 days at a time. So anyways, it's getting dark and it's time to go. So I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe. And we'll see you on the next one. It's the Car Crazy Guy here from Santa Clarita. Take her easy.